Billy Gilman. He's a goat.
Mediocre at best.
Crystal Palace.
You want to talk about mediocre at best? We're talking about Charlotte.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two went on to Charlotte Fan TV. What was
Good guys.
that?
Love those
Wednesday.
guys.
Yeah,
Wednesday,
big ups
yeah.
to those guys. Appreciate you guys reaching out. Definitely want to do that again, and maybe, possibly, I don't know. I want to go to that game, the away day.
Yeah.
So if we can get tickets and go out that way,
Yeah, it's my birthday weekend, so.
you boys,
hey.
When is it?
August
August
something.
21st.
August 21st.
Charlotte? That'd be fun to go to.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an atmosphere right there right now. Like they were saying, it's the new shiny thing, so everybody's kind of hanging out. So definitely want to check that out. But agreed, mediocre at best.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not going to be too happy to hear us say that, but that's kind of what it's been, to be honest. I think they're in a playoff spot. If I'm not
They're
9.
just outside. They're fighting for
outside.
the bottom spot.
Yeah, fighting for a playoff spot below Chicago. Wow, I was just way wrong. That's kind of sad. But if they nab 3 points off of us, they would move right into the middle of the playoff spots.
They're right in the mix of things for their first season. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did better than us in our first season.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
but it's
performed.
still pretty early on, too.
No, I guess.
No, but we performed. You know what I mean? We were in the mix of things
Yeah,
till the
we
end
were.
of the season.
On decision day, we were like 2 points out, I think.
Yeah,
And we
so-
just lost.
I mean, they are the new thing. Nobody really knows about Charlotte, but we're getting to that point now in the season where we're 8 games in. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You're starting to establish your identity. And it's going to be interesting to see how things go for them the rest of the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you were saying, we're like 8 games in, so you're starting to find your identity as a team normally, but I still feel like Charlotte doesn't really have their identity yet. I think this is going to be their first game with their new DP, first or second game with their new winger DP. So it'll be interesting to have him come in, see if the dynamic changes a little bit more, see a little bit more organization. On the 3 points post that I put out today, one of the things was on WhoScored.com, they give like a little match report. And in 2 of the last 3 matches, they have said that Charlotte has not played with a certain style of play. So it's just kind of try to get the ball in the net. Football, kind of.
Yeah, so I actually, since they're the new team, we talk about Red Bulls. We kind of know who Red Bulls are. We've seen them for years. LA, we kind of know who LA is. You know what I mean? There is the LA way, the Red Bulls way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There isn't really a Charlotte way. So I went back and watched a couple of games from them, and I agree with that statement that there really isn't a style of play, but I feel like their style of play is hold on to the ball until somebody else makes a mistake and then capitalize off of that. So they are, as you've seen through the possession reports and stuff like that, they're a very possession-based team. If you afford them the time, they're comfortable sitting around the back and passing the ball around the back and then looking for that long ball to either Rio Swinderski, their 2 strikers, or one of those wingers. So that's what I've seen from them in the 3 games I've watched from them, but I would agree with that really there's not a specific style of play. It's pretty even between the left, the middle, and the right wing. It's just depending on where they can find that extra player.
Yeah. That's kind of what we see with new teams. They don't, like, you can't really establish yourself fully in a new league unless you're coming out like, I guess LAFC did it, but LAFC is LAFC. Seattle's done it, but it's not very often that you see a team come into the league, especially one as competitive, just in a side as to, like, I'm saying competitive because you don't really know who's going to win going into that game. It's not like you're watching Real Madrid play Cadiz and you're like, oh, Madrid's probably going to win 3-0. It's, if you're at the top of the table and you're at the bottom, there's still a chance that bottom team could win. And I guess that's what we see with Charlotte because you never know what you're going to get.
Something else I noticed about them is that they're not afraid to shoot from distance.
Mm-hmm.
They're afforded even a half chance outside the box. half a look, they're ripping that shot. That's where they 3 midfielders, 2 strikers, you know what I mean? They have a lot of people hanging around the outside of the box there. So,
Yeah, it says it right here. You got the shot zones, 56% in the 18-yard box, none from inside of the 6, but 44% from outside of the 18. So about half their shots come in from outside of the 18 just against Colorado last match. You're getting half in, half out of the box. It's a pretty crazy shot thing, especially looking at Colorado's 73% in the 18, 9% in the 6, and only 18% outside of the 18. So there's a big differential there.
yeah, so their left side of their defense is one of their weak points. If you pull up the attack zones, you should see that
Action or attack?
attack.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That doesn't
Yeah,
really
so
show it, does it?
there it is. So you should see that Colorado had 42% of their attack through the right side.
Mm-hmm.
What you see is they split their team between a 5-5, as Dave said. 5 in attack, 5 in defense. That's what they commit, especially on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They commit to, we're playing for a draw, especially with their form. So they commit that 5, but they only have one number 6 sitting in the middle of the defense. So that fullback on that side has to commit to whoever's making that outside run. The center back now has to try to adjust and step to either a Pato or a Facundo in there. So we're going to see a lot of, fingers crossed, Juan making that run down to the byline and finding that cutback pass to Pato, to Cara.
Mm-hmm.
The Reds game that I watched, they had 3 or 4 chances. Just Josie Altidore is a bottle job, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally sent one over the post from the 6-yard post. Like,
Nice.
Come on, man. So, Juan has a game that we know Juan can have. This is a game that fits him. Provide width, be fast, get down to the bottom, find somebody in the box.
Yep.
This is a game where he could very easily find his form again, and then we don't have to worry about finding a right back. So,
I hope so.
Yeah, and then speaking on how far they commit, that backside run should be open a lot. We found Colorado find that left side, backside run between their backside wingers. So Facundo should, right at the top of the box, one touch, bend it to the far post. You know what I mean? That opportunity should be there at least once.
Yeah. Just looking at the positional report, all this space right down here in the bottom where it says who scored.
Mm-hmm.
If he can beat, forgive me for not knowing who 28 is, but
Their
if
right back.
yeah,
Their
left back.
I'm sorry.
he has a ton of space to work in. And I guess he's going to need all the space he can get because he really hasn't been able to put a good ball in under pressure, let alone with time. But I feel like if you give him enough tries, he should be able to get at least one.
Look at that space in the middle of the field, too. You see how their center back split?
Mm-hmm.
Their number 6 pushes a little bit more forward in possession.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Cara.
Literally 3 people on top of each other in that kind of left forward kind of area.
Yeah, you want to go back to ours against the Red Bulls?
So
5 in the center circle.
Well, the only difference from that and ours last game was ours was on the right side of the field.
I think watching this game, that attributes to, one, they are a left-heavy attack. As you can see, their fullbacks sit back, so that width is to be provided by their midfield or one of their strikers.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a very fluid midfield. So depending on, you see their right midfielder end up all the way out on the left, and now he's providing that width because that's where that comes from, is their midfield. So I think that's that. And then also you see number 12 is Rios, their striker, and number 11 is Swinderski, the DP striker that they have.
Good old Carroll.
Yeah. When Carroll comes in off the ball and drops deep, they are a very dangerous team. But he stayed very high up the pitch in most of this game, and they kind of looked dull. Rios was the one that was dropping in off the ball and trying to receive. So both of them, it just kind of depends on the tactic, but we can see both of them coming in playing that false 9 look.
Mm-hmm.
and dropping in, receiving it in the midfield, both of those wing areas and stuff like that. So,
Well, we're going to have to cut because we still haven't figured out the camera. So I guess you could say I'm being a bit of a buzzkill, and you're about to see another buzzkill as we figure the camera out.
The best chance all night, and that was not even a great chance. So,
let me ask you a question. We come back on Saturday and play Charlotte. If we don't have a good performance, how do you think about?
dude, fuck that guy.
Pretty much, yeah.
Bitch.
I mean, I want to clarify something because there was a little bit of an argument on our Twitter today. David posted that clip before we got a chance to post it.
Not David.
No, David, Loud and Proud. So, yeah, we're not opposed to supporter groups by any means.
Mm-hmm. Not at all.
We're just not affiliated with anybody, you know what I mean?
We kind of explained it last week.
Yeah.
Or last episode, sorry. And then this goes and happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. It's, like I said, it's a good thing that I wasn't there. Not that I would have gotten, like, physically aggressive with anybody, you know what I mean? We're one family here.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have drawn attention to the clown that didn't want any attention drawn to himself because you saw the way that he acted. He jumped in there, grabbed him, jumped off camera.
Yep.
I would have picked up the camera, turned it, and made a whole scene about it. Like, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Don't treat anybody else like they're a 6-year-old. You want to come talk to us? Come talk to us. Don't feel like you can't talk to us because you're part of a support group.
David said it best in his video. Or it was even in one of his replies to people replying to his video. But it was just like, we're all here as a family. No, like, you, that guy, who I don't even know his name. Like, you don't own the club. I don't own the club. You don't own the club. These two guys don't own the club. It is the Wilfs that own the club.
No, bro.
Great.
But, like, so we... so we're all...
You just changed the mood completely.
So we're all in the same boat here. We're all
Yeah.
supporting these guys. We all want 3 points every game. If you have something to say, say it. Why you can't say something is beyond me, especially in America.
Something else that I saw that was said was like Arsenal fan TV wasn't
good for the club.
All right. One, you're not an Arsenal fan. I can tell you that right now because Arsenal fan TV wasn't bad for the club. The Cronkies were bad for the club.
And they still are.
And they still are. And all that was upset fans that were tired of what was going on. Unfortunately, Wenger was at the helm at that time. He got the forefront of that. But you know what I mean? Like, go watch our videos. Nobody's calling for Oscar's head.
No.
Even when we lost, we were the first to defend Oscar when people were coming for his head outside of us.
If you walk up to the camera and you call for Oscar's head, if we lose this weekend and someone walks up there, you are getting clowned in my editing session.
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely
the
clowned.
worst thing we heard about Oscar for the fan reactions was that he got it wrong today. That was all that was said about Oscar.
And that's a fact.
Yeah.
And if you don't like people saying that, then are you really a true supporter of the club? No.
It wasn't even saying anything bad. It was just criticism about the game.
Look, like, again, we respect the ILF, the Ruckus, the Black Swans Drinking Club, everybody. You know what I mean? Like, even the small non-affiliated groups. Like, we have no issues with supporter groups.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like, I love that. And I don't want anybody to get offended when I say this, but you guys are not ultras. We will never be here in America. Because it's not the way things are here. I've spoken to many. I personally have not been to a game over there, right? But I've spoken to many people who have been in supporters groups over there that now have moved to the States and said that they feared for their lives walking to away games. People would jump them in the streets if they weren't in groups and stuff like that. Even when you're in the stadium, we've never had that fear of being stabbed. You know what I mean? Like, those are things that happen over there, and we don't want that going on over here. We want that passion, but we don't want that kind of stuff. So stop trying to act like you guys are those people. That guy particularly. You're not. You're a clown. We're here to support our club and have a good time. You want to come up and say something? Come say something. You don't want to say something? You don't like our content? Fuck off. How about that?
Yeah. If you're happy that we just got 3 points, if you're okay with a draw, if you're drunk and pissed off, then
talk to Bryce.
Yeah, he will be happy to talk to you. But if you
We'll
don't,
have a 45-minute conversation easily.
yeah.
But
if you don't,
sing things over and over again. Too. Can I add that in there?
No.
literally like 8 times in a row. So
dude, we showed no passion.
I was gonna say, if it goes back to the, I'm just gonna sound like an old lady here, but if you don't have anything to say, don't say anything at all. So like, what was the point of you coming up and just grabbing the guy by the elbow or the shoulder, and being like, nah, don't do that shit? Maybe he wants to.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't want him to. But are you gonna control his life? No. Apparently you can, but you shouldn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, clearly this guy watches our content. He's seen it before. So this one goes out to you, buddy. Come talk to us after the game tomorrow.
Where's my monster? I would cheers you, but I think I threw it away.
Come talk to us after the game tomorrow, off camera, and explain to us why you think that these people can't talk. I promise you, it'll be a different vibe talking to us in person than what you see, whatever you see, or the way you feel. We're not here to cause any issues. We're not here to upset anybody. So come talk to us in person, man, and see what we're really about here, and I guarantee you'll change your mind.
Yeah, just here for a good time.
Yeah. Hey, we're just fans.
Yeah.
We say it every time. I don't get it paid off of this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
No.
It's because you don't show up.
All right.
And because
I'm
you're
busy.
wearing a Jets jersey. that's part of
Hey,
the
it's,
reason too.
It's day 2 of the draft. I'll give it to them. You know what I mean? They're
Gotta win
in
something.
the high point of their season right now.
That's facts.
And then as soon as training camp starts, it's all
Boom.
downhill.
If we're gonna win something, it's gonna be this draft.
Okay.
Well, your guys
You
aren't
guys
going to win the
can't.
draft either. So
Hey. The Jets ain't winning anything.
that's great, but neither are the Jets.
I said,
I
if
know.
we're
I'm
winning
well
anything,
aware.
we're
We
winning
drafted
this draft.
fucking Trayvon fucking Walker first overall.
You guys drafted Trevor
Good.
Lawrence last year and still had the second worst draft out of everybody.
Oh, we took a fucking running back in the second
Okay,
fucking
now
round.
We're
Why?
going on a weird tangent.
Welcome to OC
Fuck
Fan TV
Trent
NFL
Backel.
edition. Go Tom Brady.
Well, OC Fan TV NFL edition, but we really want to get OC Fan TV European edition started up here soon. So be on the lookout for that. I think we're going to jump to a cut here real quick. Promo maybe for our watch party or something. You'll see what it is.
Yeah, something.
And when we get back, we'll talk about our tactics going into this game this week.
And now it is having the chance to be back and on the road of winning, just after have a good series of games that we reach our objectives. But good, we're ready. Boys are working, trying to learn from the last game, but also just trying to prepare this one. That's what we have done so far.
All right, so now what are we actually talking about? This is not the NFL draft.
We're talking about Shitlot FC.
Yeah, see, this is how off the cuff this shit is sometimes because we have no clue.
CLT.
All right, so
What if you want to just go into lineups?
yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Based off of what we now know about Charlotte,
Mhm.
how would you guys line up? Or do you want me to go first?
I'm going to go first. I feel like you always go first.
Yeah, I feel like I do.
Yeah.
That's why I always ask, and then you're like, "Oh, why don't you go first?"
Yeah,
I need to
'cause-
think about it.
Yep. I am going to say a 3-4-3 to just expose those wide areas. It's going to be a back three of. I'm going Joao left center back, Robin center back, and Schlegel right center back. I feel like we always just skip over Pedro on goal, but it's just always a thing. 2 center mids are going to be Caesar and going Sebas in there. Right mid, Ruan. Left mid, I'm going Benji. 3 up top from left to right is Facundo, Carapato. Why not?
I have the exact same formation, just different people in that lineup. My back three is going to be Schlegel at left center back, Janssen central, Thomas Williams in at the right. Midfield, I'm going to put Joao at that left midfield spot. I feel like he's really going to excel in that role if we play him there. I'm going to put Mo at one of the midfielders and Caesar at the other. I think rotating that midfield, one more attacking, one more sitting, playing that 8 and 6 role would benefit us a lot. And then the right midfielder, man, it's tough. Vanderwater hasn't looked good in his minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Neither has Juan, and Kyle Smith is not going to fit that tactic.
Yeah, we need someone who will get forward.
But Juan has the skill set, so he's gonna get the nod there for me. Again, if he has another bad performance, it's gotta be someone else. If it's not Mikey Holiday starting to see some minutes,
Mm-hmm.
because he has also a similar skill set, starting to see some minutes from him, I think he could fit very well there. But I'm not gonna throw him in first game in a 3-4-3 that we don't see a lot from us. And then the top three stay the same: Facundo out left, Carr up top, Pato on the right.
So, right now I don't like us playing with the 3-back. I think every time we do, we always let up stupid goals because we don't play in that too much. So, I'm going to go with a 4-2-3-1. I'm going to have Galese in goal, obviously. Joao out left. Robin, Schlegel, and Juan. And I'm going to have Araujo.
You're going to have who?
Urso. Araujo.
Heard.
Facundo out left. Mauricio in the middle. Pato out right. And Carr up top. Not going to change much. We need to win this game.
Is that the same? Did you just say the same lineup from Red Bulls?
Yeah.
All right, heard.
Yeah. I mean, I think with Mauricio, he's going to have a lot of balls, like early balls in. Like, you guys are fucked.
What do you mean by that?
What?
Early balls, like when he receives the ball.
Early balls in the box.
No, when he receives it initially, there's going to be a lot of space between their two center backs. I think either you can see Carr and Facundo either just making quick runs, and I think we need to have like a number 10 there. So you guys are childish.
Yeah. So
you just worded that horribly. I think he's gonna have balls.
Early balls in.
In that lineup that you just gave out, I would
go.
I would really like to see us play that more like we see Arsenal play that, where they transition into the back three. So you take Juan out of that lineup, you let Kyle Smith play that spot, and then we transition into that back three, you know what I mean? Where Moutinho's allowed to get a little bit more forward, he gets up that left side of the pitch, and then we still have that back three in there, some solid. So that was something else I was thinking about, just wanted to throw that out there, because I saw the formation.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple times throughout the season, but I feel like it's going the other way.
The opposite.
Because it's usually Ruan getting up the pitch.
But Juan has been less than superb, so I honestly think that Joao is our better attacking option. Obviously, against this team, it should be Juan, but if he doesn't, halftime we have to see him come out of the game, and even Benji, somebody has to go in and play that spot.
Yep, agreed. All right, Le'Veon Bell, let's go.
All right, so speaking of balls, I think Poppy's going to have some balls and play a 3-back. I'm going to go with a 3-4-1-2. Change it up a little bit from you guys with the 3-4-3. I'm going to have not Schlegel in goal. Jesus. I'm going to have Galese in goal. I'm going to have Janssen, Schlegel, and Joao as my 3 center backs. I'm going to have Facundo out left. I'm going to have Cesar and Junior as the 2 midfielders. I'm going to have Ruan as my right mid. I'm going to have Mo as my cam, and the 2 strikers, Pato and Cara.
Heard.
Can you get behind that?
I feel like they usually play next to each other, where Pato can kind of drop in, receive the ball, play it out wide, and then Ruan gets in across to Cara.
I was gonna say I feel like that gives both of our left mid, right mid, way more space to get up the field and put in the balls.
It doesn't. Well, okay. I'll say I don't like. The problem is the last game at the Red Bulls, we were really jammed on one side, which is what I don't want to see. So I feel like the 3-4-3 could potentially pose that problem.
Yeah. It could, for sure. I think something about the 3-back that's going to help us a lot is, like I said, they commit that 5 to attack. So they're going to have those players up there ready to counter. So just leaving Schlegel and Janssen up there is not going to be good for us. These two clowns.
These two
over
are
there.
gone.
Yo, I can't sit next to this guy, bro.
It's just one of those ones where I can't stop laughing.
It started before the episode even started, too. That's the problem.
Continue, please.
So,
I think a 3-back provides good stability. If we have kind of 3 anchors that sit back instead of Ruan, who sometimes is really lackadaisical in getting back.
I feel like no matter what formation we have, we still have a 3-back in some aspect. You know what I mean? We see Caesar sitting in that 6 centrally a lot. We see, like we just said, where Joao joins that back line when Juan pushes forward. So I kind of disagree with Bryce, though, when he said that we let up stupid goals in the 3-back, because I feel like we looked shambolic against Red Bulls until we came out and started to put some stability in the 3-back.
But then we let in 2 goals.
One was a penalty.
One was a really unlucky handball.
Oh, and the first one came 3 minutes into the second half?
Before Thomas Williams came on, I believe.
No, he came on at half.
Like, he came on, the sub was at half.
Yeah, he came on. Yeah.
The change was at half, and we conceded 3 minutes after that. Thomas Williams 46.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Benji 46. That's when we went to the 3-back.
So either way, you know what I mean? Like 3 minutes into the match, you're going to attribute that to us. Just, you know what I mean? Red Bulls already looked the more dangerous team from the start of that match. You can't tell me they weren't going to go out and score another goal. You know what I mean? Even if we didn't switch into that 3-back.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like every time we play a 3-back, we always allow multiple goals.
We had one against the Rowdies.
Oh, can we talk about the fact that this guy on the Red Bulls is Zachary Ryan, and I'm Zachary Ryan Barkis?
Yeah, no one asked.
Yeah, I was going to say, no one cares.
And Julian Edelman's brother.
Heard.
Not again.
Special.
All right. We are composing ourselves, and coming back with predictions and other things.
Next, we'll go to Austin David.
Hey, Oscar. With Thomas Williams and some of the younger players like Mikey Holiday, Alex Freeman, and even Wilfredo Rivera, they've been with their national teams the past couple of days, specifically for Thomas, since he's really your only backup center back. Do you expect him to be back in time for this Saturday, or do you kind of have to game plan for him being without him?
We already have Thomas on the road, or just competing for the position with the first team. And you mentioned that they had been in the national team, and we have seven players there. So Orlando should be proud about it. And these guys are going to return by the end of the week. But Thomas already here. They played an important scrimmage yesterday, but we asked him to come earlier. We want him to be in the equation for the game this Saturday. So he's here. Mikey stay there, and Mikey could be returning early in the weekend. And the other guys will stay there until the end of the camp. That's the plan.
We're just going into score predictions, and we'll figure out where we're going from there. I'm just going to kick it off with a solid 2-0 win for the boys.
Oh, but on Charlotte's podcast, I got flamed for that one, didn't I?
You just didn't?
Yeah.
No, I was like, yeah, you're being the positive guy, so I got to bring it back down a little bit. But I could be the positive guy on here, so.
Well, I'm going 2-0 too. So.
Oh, wow. Great.
I hate y'all. I was going to say 2-0.
So,
I don't want to.
That would be really ballsy of you.
I hate you. I'm going to say 3-0 just to make it different. I think we grab a third late.
This could be a very big game for us.
Oh, it is?
Like, I mean, like, score-wise. Like, it could be a statement win, you know what I mean? To remind everybody who Orlando is, why we were third in the East.
We still are.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's true.
Do it. I see it in your eyes. Do it.
I'm going to go 3-1.
What did you think he was going to say?
Like a 5-0.
No,
That's what I thought he was going to say.
No. I'm gonna go 3-1. And the reason I say that is, like I was saying before, they play a lot of early balls into the box. They play a lot of over the top. You know, it's gonna be on our back line to stay awake all 90 minutes, not fall asleep, because the second that they do, Swinderski Rios are gonna be free one-on-one with Gleisig, and I like my odds, but I don't. You know what I mean? I would rather have 3 or 4 people standing in front of him. And then also, Rodrigo cannot stab in, and he cannot follow that striker that drops in off the ball. You know what I mean? He's got to understand that if he's 20 yards outside the box, if he just stays in front of him, we're going to be good. He can't Harry Maguire this shit and follow him up to the midline and allow that ball to be played. I'm sorry, but
Just got flashbacks.
that's the way that Charlotte wants us to defend that, is that exact way.
Yep.
Come out, create that lane for Swinderski or Rios, whoever the one is not dropping it off the ball, to fill that space. We can't.
We've seen Schlegel do that
Yes.
time and time again, too, so.
That's part of the reason why I put that 3 back out there, because even if one of them
Give them some extra help in
gets
case that
pulled
happens.
out of position,
You're just going to give Thomas Williams a full 90, though? You trust him like that?
I do.
Yeah,
What-
I'm not...
Has he? I mean, like, my reasoning is has he given me a reason not to? You know what I mean? Like, yes, he hasn't been phenomenal in every single time he's appeared on the pitch, but has he dropped below a 6? You know what I mean? In anybody's book?
No.
No, but, like, there are things that you can do that won't drop your rating on football. Like, just positional things that you won't get knocked for. Tracking players, communicating, telling Ruan, hey, I need help with this guy,
that's
kind of
what
thing.
I'm saying. Not just talking about foot mob. I'm talking about, like, our ratings, you know what I mean? Like, other organizations outside of foot mob. Like, I haven't seen anybody rate him horribly.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 17-year-old kid that's going to go out there and put in a shift for us for 90 minutes. You know what I mean? We have Caesar in there as well. And I think that he's going to provide a lot of help to our back line in this game. So
He's really good on the ball, too, and he's not afraid if you give him the chance to kind of dribble up a little bit, take his space, find a good pass, too. I think he could be a really good addition to the 11.
Yep.
I would really like to start seeing him play that, Jorginho role, that deep playmaking, defensive center back or center mid, where he's in there doing the dirty work like he already is now, but we give him a little bit more time on the ball and let him create a little bit, because he's shown that he has that vision.
Araujo?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Thomas Williams.
No.
I was
I'm
like,
talking about
ah.
Caesar. We're talking about Caesar. I would love to see him play that playmaking defensive mid. You know what I mean? That creative.
It could. Like, if we have tons of possession in the match and we want to press forward, then we just leave him in the 3-back back there, and we could definitely see that.
Something that we're going to have to do is press. And press hard. Charlotte likes to pass the ball around the back, like I was saying before, and they're comfortable doing that for minutes at a time to try to draw us out of position. But when they do get pressed, their center backs, I mean, Fuchs he's quality, but he's getting up there in age.
But it's still Christian Fuchs.
Yeah, but the quality isn't as high as it used to be. And when you have Kara pressing you for 90 minutes, there's going to be a couple opportunities in there where he's going to put a straight pass out there, because I saw a lot of unforced errors in that Colorado match between that back line. I'm not going to lie, watching them just pass the ball straight out of bounds, straight passes and stuff like that. So putting a little bit of pressure on them is only going to intensify that. And
Yeah, hopefully we press the way we did, like, against Columbus.
Yeah.
because Mo was on a workhorse that day.
Something else that needs to be a factor is the fact that nobody shows up to Colorado games, and the wall needs to be a presence. You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about probably like 10,000 people showing up to a Colorado game spread out around the stadium. Let's get that 17 again, if not more, packed in there. Let's be loud, because Charlotte capitalizes at home off of their environment, but they haven't really played outside of, New England and the Rebs, a truly hostile road environment. Actually, they played Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So
I think that was home though.
they played them twice already, I believe. They stole the game at home, and then they lost on the road, I believe.
We're about to find out.
Or
Fixtures.
no, they played the Rebs twice, so I don't think they played. They played at Atlanta.
Holy cow. We already played that. How many games have we played?
9 games now.
Is that their first
Going
game?
into week 10.
Yeah.
That was their
9
first game.
games total.
They started. So they lost in Atlanta 2-1. Then they won at home 1-0.
At home against them, they stole that one late, and then they went back on the road, lost to the Rebs.
Yeah. In Atlanta 43-5. I think 40. No, just 43.
Yeah, but our 17,000 is way louder than their 43 pumped in musical edition.
Yeah, well, you have a much
Stadium.
bigger atmosphere, like space to fill there. So
Yeah.
They're just quiet.
it's got to
Good
be.
point.
We're on top of the pitch there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, it was built. The stadium was built the way it was built for a reason. So
To be loud and to pack people in.
let's do it. Let's show Charlotte a little bit about what the original record in MLS was for fan attendance.
Yeah.
And show them what we can do here in Orlando. Watch party, right?
May
coming up.
7th.
May 7th. We take on that Canadian team that decided to use our stadium as a home field for. Was that them?
It was them or Toronto. It doesn't.
Both of them.
It was both of them.
It's probably.
Yeah,
Well, then what
'cause-
about Vancouver? Was it Vancouver too?
No, Vancouver was Real Salt Lake, I think, for some reason.
Wow.
Because I remember we played Toronto, and they
Oh,
lost
yeah, we
us
couldn't
out of our
get
stadium.
in
Yeah.
our stadium. Yeah.
That we couldn't even get into.
Yeah. Well,
Pussies.
those two Canadian, one of the two Canadian teams that got booted from their own country that decided to find sanctuary here in our stadium. We are going to find sanctuary at Tin Roof Orlando, the Green Room. We've got a Kentucky Derby watch party going on right before it, and
We
there's
love
some
good bets.
yeah, there's a
Racing action.
there's a little betting action there, quote unquote. Obviously, we're not a legal betting location at Tin Roof, but they're doing a little place a bet on the winning horse. You get a split of the prizes, 50-50 depending on everybody. Some drink and food specials going on that day, and then right at the end of that, we're rocking Orlando City. We got Humidor for $6 tequila. We've got Onda seltzers for $3.
Who?
$3
Yeah.
seltzers. That's all you need to know.
Really?
Yes.
UK.
I'm getting an Uber.
Onda?
Onda, they're tequila too. So
Oh, Bryce is done for.
yeah,
Tequila.
Some good reactions with Bryce after that game.
yeah, and that's another thing that we're gonna be doing tomorrow. Catch us outside Gate C. We'll be out there. Don't let anybody bully you away from us, because
Facts.
I'll be
Those
there
are
as
good.
I'll be there, and I'm gonna try to buy a safety patrol. You know, those elementary school
The little sashes.
lanyards, and I'm gonna wear one out there. And if anybody comes over there and bullies, I'm just gonna blow a rape whistle or something like
should get a
that, really
wand.
loud.
Have a yellow vest if you want.
You should go to Universal, get the one. Expelliarmus.
Yeah, so we got some of those going
Those
on.
are good.
Yeah, $3. $3.
Yeah, you're done for.
And then some shot specials and food specials that are going to be announced a little bit later, but
Yeah.
really want y'all to come out.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to hearing from you guys on our socials. You can find us at OCFanTV on Instagram, at OCFanTV22 on Twitter, and our TikTok is OCFanTV. If you're looking at us right now, you're obviously on our YouTube, OCFanTV, and then Spotify and Apple Music and everywhere else. Orlando City Fan TV for listening. And unless anybody else has anything to say, I think this is where we end it.
Let's
Up
get
the
3
boys.
points.
Let's get three fucking points.
Facts.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Fucking dickhead.
Let's go Jets.
Hell no.
Okay, we
Hell no. We will talk to you guys later.